Once upon a time in quarantine, there was a lovely girl named Rapunzel. She was confined to her tower, not because of an evil witch, but because of a pandemic. She spent her days alone, reading books, doing puzzles, and watching Netflix. But one day, a handsome prince noticed her in her tower during a video call with her friends and instantly fell in love with her. He knew he had to find a way to woo her, so he started sending her care packages with her favorite snacks and novels. He also video called her, telling her stories and exchanging jokes. Slowly but surely, he made his way into her heart. However, the prince longed to see Rapunzel in person, but he couldn't leave his castle because of the pandemic. He thought of all kinds of ways to visit her, including sending drones to her tower with gifts, but nothing worked. One day, he had an idea. He asked his cook to bake a giant cake and put Rapunzel's favorite chocolate chips all over it. Then he put together a rope made out of bedsheets and lowered it down to her tower. He yelled up to her saying he had a surprise for her, so she climbed up the sheets with excitement. However, as she climbed, he realized that the tower was creaking. He knew that it couldn't handle her weight, but he didn't want to hurt her feelings. When she finally reached the top, she looked different to the prince. She had put on the quarantine 15, and was now too heavy for him to pull up. He smiled, hugged her, took the gift, and led her towards the cake. As they sat eating, the tower shook. They both froze and looked around. The floorboards beneath them began to break. They stared at each other. The prince knew that they had to get out of there, but how? He looked at the giant cake, which was now squashed in the middle, and an idea came to him. He told Rapunzel to crawl onto the cake, and with all his might, he lifted her, holding onto the cake, and lowering them down to the ground. They burst out laughing as he put her down and told her she was heavier than he expected. From that day on, the prince and Rapunzel were inseparable. They spent their days together enjoying the simple things in life, like baking together, exchanging stories, and watching birds in the garden. They knew that life was too short to not be together during the tough times, and they cherished every moment.